Hey Marie, how are you?
Good, Jay.
Good. Ready for our last episode of 2025?
I so am.
I so am. Are you ready to kiss 2025 goodbye?
I am for many reasons, Jay, personally, more than anything, but definitely ready to.
All right. Um, we had a discussion many times about this episode because any idiot with a podcast does an end of the year wrap up episode.
Mm.
Um, and it usually follows the same type of format, doesn't it? Like, oh, these are with the good and the bad, and it's just all big picture and happy new year and all the best for the year. And look, we're no different. We're going to do a bit of the same, but we did want this episode to actually be helpful.
I think there's been some amazing highlights, so I think we need to hone in on it. There's also things that our clients have had massive wins on, and I think it's important to share because some people have had a crappy year, and there's a light at the end of that tunnel. There's some good things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think more people this year, the light at the end of that tunnel is very fucking dim. It's tiny and it's a long way away. And the tunnel is bloody suffocating them because it has been a doozy. And whether it's year of the snake, the donkey, the cat, and next year's the year of the confetti and the animal that we actually want to pat that's not going to bite us, whatever. We want to consolidate and reconcile the shit from this year and choose different for 2026, or else we're going to end up repeating the same trends and patterns of 2025. And that ain't pretty because it has been a doozy. So
No, what do they say? Keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same result. So we need to tweak it
yeah,
up. Otherwise,
absolutely.
yeah.
So the initial concept was that Marie and I put our heads together and think about 2025, our coaching clients and our partners that we have within the industry. What are they doing specifically that allowed them to grow throughout, you know, a challenging year? But also on the flip side, the businesses or the partners or the people in the industry that we have had insight into, because in the coaching industry, you speak to salon and clinic owners and industry people all day, every day. That's our job. So you have this fly on the wall, unbelievable insight into what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So we're going to unpack that. Now, the rule that we haven't even established for this episode is the bad. We're not going to name and shame people, but the good we will. We don't want to get sued, even though we're very insured. But we're not going to say, oh, this person did this shit, so don't do that. We'll give you an idea of what we believe they're doing wrong, and that has fed into their lack of results or kept them stuck. But we do want to celebrate the good people in our industry and in our circle as well.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, definitely. I think let's start with maybe some strategies because I
yeah.
think there's been lots of strategies. I know we've seen a real theme of operators becoming like leaders, like really strong leaders. And
Mm,
whether that's been we've done meetings before, but they're not working, I feel like they've really got deep into things like that. So, really stepped into leadership, really looking at things that are not. Let's not react to things, make it really intentional. So, where before there's so many big picture people in our industry and they
yeah.
let's do this, bright, shiny. I think, Jay, you're probably one of those quite big, reactive. Oh,
Really?
yeah, let's get,
Ah,
yeah,
good. I
over
thought we
here.
weren't throwing anyone under the bus today, but hey, whatever.
We can throw each
I'm
other.
glad it's me. Put it that way.
Exactly. But everyone knows, like the listeners will hear that, like, that's me. And I feel there's been a lot more intentional things happening. Even you, Jay,
Even me. The
e-
medication helps.
the medication helps, but even you, like you have got so granular with things when you and I have meetings. It's like, we need to go deeper on that and work on that. So the intention's not been in a reactive mode. And there's also been a little bit of the I hope this works, to an attitude of deciding and executing. And I think for maybe referring to that, some of the things that I see a lot of people have done, even just over, maybe if we recap the last few months, a few people have gone, oh, I've never done Black Friday. Well, do you want to? No, I don't think I will. Actually, I'm going to. And the results of things like that, whether it's 3,000 or 10,000, or I heard one yesterday, 11,000, wasn't going to do it. So they went from, I hope this works, to really deciding, I'm going to make this work. And I
Gonna
think,
make it work. It has to work. It's going to work. Yeah.
yeah, so that's that reactive. That's that, it's in intention. You're like, I'm going to change this once and for all. And
Yeah.
the other one was around diaries. I think we bang on about having a clear diary and what's your structure look like, and when
Mm.
you work on your business and time for yourself and things like that. That strategy's been taken to another level. So I've seen even a client this morning, Kim, we put her diary together, we re-looked at her diary, and we've changed the way she's thinking about things. Does she need to work on it more? Yes, but she's got a real intention and a positive outlook on going, this is where I need to grow my profits, and knowing what I need to work on and when.
Yeah.
And I think those
Mm.
strategies have been really clear to business owners more and more this year.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think an overarching theme of everything that you've just mentioned,
Yeah.
from box ticking as an operator to becoming a leader,
Mm.
from being reactive to intentional, leaning into seasonal things like vouchers and
Yeah.
Black Friday, and then time management. Um, yes, more people are doing that better this year than ever before. But even the people that uh, haven't actively chosen to do that, it's like your choice has been removed this year. You have to. You don't have a
Yes.
choice. So it's not a matter of like back when we started coaching in 1423, you'd say, uh have you got a paper diary, or do you use iCal or Google Calendar? What's Google Calendar? Now, when we onboard a new client, they say, I use Google Calendar, but I could do it better. Or I
Mm.
do time block on this day. So like there's people know that if they're not organized, if they're not stepping into their leadership, if they stay reactive, they're
Mm.
going to go backwards. So, yeah, the choice has been removed. You have to step
Yeah.
it up, and they have.
Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah,
even things like I mentioned to client Kim this morning, it's the, people write in their notes. We all do it. People write on paper. They have paper books, diaries, everything else. They've really, really tidied that up.
yeah. Again,
Yeah,
because you have to, and then there's people that are choosing to do it as well.
that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
it's been.
Sometimes you have to remove the choice.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, so
What
yeah, I
about
love
for
that. I
you?
think,
What have you seen, Jay? What are some of the strategies that you've seen? I think we've seen so many, but what have you seen coming up,
yeah.
strategy wise?
Yeah, the first thing that came to my mind is it's a unique one, and it's not an option for every single business owner in our industry. But those that have a full active manager in their team,
Yeah,
and they're the right person, so
yeah,
they're a good manager. And I don't I don't like the word manager, because people don't like to be managed. Things shouldn't be managed. People like to be led. And I like team leader because it is just a constant reference to you have a team and you're leading them.
that's
So,
right. Mm,
anyway, I digress. Having an active team leader in your business that's like a co-pilot, they're a co-passenger,
mm,
and they are working alongside you on your goals and your targets, and not just stock ordering and you checking inboxes and you know answering stupid questions from clients in the team throughout the day on the fly. It's the team leaders and the managers that are actually coming to like our planning events. Like,
yes.
I'd say that, I don't know, what, a third up to half of our clients bring their team leader to our planning events, and they are creating that vision and that plan and delegating on that day and sharing the load with their team leader. Because I think by default, like, and like I can speak from personal experience, would I follow through an action at the level that I do currently without you being my business partner? No, I wouldn't. Because then I think we're happy to let ourselves down, but I don't want to let you down. So then I
Mm.
think, oh, I'll do the work.
Yeah.
You're like, it's
And
Christmas Eve. We're recording this. Would I have recorded this if I didn't have this in my diary?
no,
Would you have?
probably not.
No,
Let's just
probably
say.
not, but more so than me. But
But it doesn't
um,
even feel like Christmas Eve. I feel like it's just a normal week, and we'll get to that part of some really big, uh, amazing things that have happened this year in salons. But one of the things, even with that leader of the business and having them come to our planning days, I feel like what happens is you're not having to repeat yourself either. So not only are they both connected, but you're not having to repeat what you learned or what you want to put forward. It's a together goal.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. 'Cause I think once you, and this is normal, it's just a part of team and communication is that if you have the owner, they learn something and then they deliver that to the manager, and then the manager delivers to the team, and the team deliver to the juniors deliver to the clients. Like it's going to change,
That's
you
right.
know, as it trickles down. So 100%. Um, Last thing. So the one person that I wrote down was Sam Wolf, and I did have to think really hard about these two people's names because they've both got married and changed their last names, which is so annoying to me because to me it's Sam Barris, you
Yeah.
know, and I'll have to remind myself and correct myself forevermore that it's
Yeah.
Sam Wolf.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And she's an amazing leader. And even our team trainings, the team are always there. Like
yeah.
she's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the thing that she does particularly well is she has team leaders in different roles, looking after different parts of the business, and they come to the planning events, and you see in the plan every week where all the tasks are allocated, they're color coded for all three of them. These are blue, this is pink, this is green, and this is what each of us are doing. And the follow through's there. And I know Sam won't mind me saying that she's got a little bit of Jay Chapman in her, ADHD and this and that and the other and here, there and everywhere. So I think it's so smart to collaborate with different people so that her follow throughs at a high level. But she can also delegate the things that are not in her flow to team members that it is in their flow. So it's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think whether you have, just on that, whether you have like a team leader or some people start, they might be a smaller business and they have a front of house. Like,
Mm,
even some people I can think about that do that really well. Rachel Mills has allocated some amazing people to her business that help her and support her in like a front of house role. There's another one I'm thinking is Emily from Fika. Like there's so many people that are popping up for me, or Kelly Watkins in New Zealand are doing such a great job when it comes to having people support them in their business.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rippers.
Now, um, Lauren Williams, which is Lauren Moore, but I will call her what? Lauren Williams from Wax Gallery. It's not. It's Lauren Moore from Bear.
Yeah.
It's because she changed her bloody business name as well you know, to throw me. Anyway, sorry, Lauren.
Mm.
Um, uh, the one thing about Lauren that the strategy that I only really found out recently because one of the things that we are going to be focusing on and helping our clients with in 2026 is more training, education, and support around the systems that they can implement in their business around consult forms, treatment planning, home care planning, prescriptions. And there's everything from optimizing that and having it on paper like the good old fashioned way, and
Yeah.
then your point of sale system or any other softwares where it's completely digital and paperless, and then like that hybrid of in the middle, because some people still like a good old fashioned paper approach, like you buy the wall planner from Officeworks so that you've got that big picture wall planner in your office. Like you can have that digital, but it's just better on paper, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that for home. That's more of
Yeah,
a home, like you can
absolutely.
map things out. But yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Like some people do. Mm.
Yeah. But the thing is I got Lauren to walk me through what she has set up with
Yeah.
her salon software. She uses Forest.
Amazing.
And it's all automated.
How good is
So
that?
so when Marie books in for a skin needling treatment, um, the system knows that and sends her communications around what to do to prep her skin
Mm.
when the girls perform the treatment. And after Marie checks out, automatically Forrest knows to send aftercare specifically for skin needling.
Yes.
Um, and the thing that I really loved is that if Marie is recommended for skincare products, but she only buys two on that day for whatever reason, tight ass, whatever. She only buys two products that day. Forrest knows that, and it will shoot across. This is how to use those two products.
Mm.
And also, here's a link to buy the other two, you tight ass, because you probably should have, and you're not going to get good results unless you buy those other two. And then she can click that link and she can buy them online from Lauren's online store.
Yeah, it's
So,
amazing, isn't it? Like such a great like aftercare service. And some people it's not even just about the money on the day. They're in a hurry and they want more explain, whatever it is, and it all comes in that after post email, isn't it? Like how
yeah.
that's gold.
Yeah. So yeah, she's done it exceptionally well, and I've been talking to a few different software companies, and Forrester's hosting a training for our clients in January, specifically on that and how to set that up in a Q&A, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Forrester's great for their support.
They-
Um, so I think that whether it's skin, hair, beauty, whatever. It's consults, prescriptions, home care planning, service planning. How do we communicate that? How do we document it? How do we give something to the client, digital, physical? Like that's been one of my favorite things. It's also made a huge impact.
Yeah,
So
so
on so
much.
many different levels.
I
Yeah.
I think also, Jay, there's the things that we've seen that have worked, the strategies as such. But there's also people. And for me, first and foremost, you and the team have been an amazing support, like salons have with their team. You have so much appreciation, whether it's through the year, end of the year, doesn't matter. Like we have those. So I thank you for being a part of my world and the team because like wow we couldn't live without our team could we like they're the
Mm,
best. We had a little chat last night in our messages and I think there was some tears and laughs and cries and everything going on wasn't there in that
mm.
thank you for the year. But there is other people and talking about Forest and then talking about maybe partnerships. We have many partnerships and one of my jobs I suppose in my role is about partnerships and the podcast and I meet so many people in our industry and they're majority of them they're a cut above the rest, let's just say, and they really show up. So whether they're the BDMs that support you in your business, the rep, some people call them the rep. I think for it's the words, not necessarily or the name. I think it's how they support you, and there's so many people around that just give such good support in business, and I think we need to thank each and every one of them. You know who you are because I've spoken to you, and I think, Jay, you'll go deep on a few that stand out the most. But even just recently having Isabella Longrian from Skin Form A on the podcast, like just amazing that she's gone from doing, and I always get this name wrong. Some people call it buccal massage, buccal massage.
Well,
Like
Carl, yeah.
she's now got like an academy. Well, she had it for a while, an academy. Her amazing husband works in the academy. The business is amazing, and also Tamara Reid from Inside Industry. She works with B2B businesses. So more our suppliers of the industry and really, really honing in to help their businesses support your business to another level. So I think she's an absolute ripper. And the other one was Jeanette from Salon First. Had a really good conversation with her. She's in Melbourne and
She's everywhere, Jeanette. She's everywhere in 2025.
she absolutely is. And I feel like,
Physically,
yeah,
digitally,
yeah. Yeah,
everywhere.
she does I'll probably get it right, the big live, I think it is. And every year in I know it's a day of our event and I want to say it's in January and it's about the 20 something, but she does some amazing things. And there's just so many people in our industry that you would be aligning to as a salon or clinic owner that are just doing fabulous things. It's, that rep that just goes to that next level and supports you on events that you have in your salon and things like that. And they're the amazing BDMs of our industry.
Mm.
Mm.
Look, I think all of the negative talk in a lot of the Facebook groups it's about I'm looking for a new supplier, a new brand,
Yeah.
and always on the top of their list is the support and education. So, I think if you don't have that nailed in 2025, 2026, you're going to be hearing about it from your accounts, and I think rep is it's a dead word that you're not allowed to use anymore. We use it
No.
because we're lazy sometimes. And it's like airline hosties. You're not allowed to call them a hostie. What are they called now? It's bad.
I actually don't know about
Anyway,
that.
Marie, there's inappropriate names to refer to trolley dollies. That's probably one of them.
Yeah. Well, they're called BDMs, and some even have different level names on top of
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I think it depends on what level you're at in a business, and some people have different types of levels. But you know
Yeah.
what? I think they're all people, and
Yeah.
the ones that go to another level, we always remember them. And I
Yeah.
remember them, and you do from years ago. So,
Yeah.
mm,
And it's funny, it probably has happened 3 or 4 times this year. You see in a Facebook group an anonymous post, and it'll say, "I'm a burnt out, washed up old hairdresser and beauty therapy. I hate my clients. I hate the world. I hate everyone. What should I do? I don't want to do hair and beauty anymore because I want to shoot everyone." And then all the comments, "Have you thought about becoming a rep?" And I think, well, that's a part of the problem. Like, that's not a very good baseline to come from. I'm burnt out and exhausted. Oh, I'll become a rep. Like, no
uh,
one wants that.
you need
So,
to be excited to be in any part of a BDM's role. You need to be excited and passionate and want to be able to support and help business owners, not burnt out.
yeah, 100%. Anyway, moving on from that. There's 1,000 people that I think do incredible things in the industry. I think the first one, and I only, again, I spend all my day in Facebook groups by the sounds of it. But there was a post put up, I don't know, a month ago in a Facebook group. And there was a bit of argy-bargy back and forward in the comments, and I love drama, so of course I navigated towards the argy-bargy, and there was an opportunity to put a spotlight on Maria Coccioloni and the InSkin team, and O Cosmetics, Ginger and Me, and so on. Um, because she just does things different. She does things different. She does community exceptionally well, like connecting all of their accounts as they refer to as partners. She's the face of the business. I think there's a lot of brands that don't have a face of the business. They might have an ambassador or like a squad of therapists or hairdressers they nominate and say you're the face, but the actual owner, formulator, therapist that owns the company, like, and just the genuine care factor. On a personal level as well, like towards you and I, personal communication, but just from a business level, unbelievable. I could talk about that all day. Um, so I think,
She's good to the core. And I don't think
yeah,
that just is from her brand. Her brand's amazing, but she's good to the core.
yeah, yeah, she
Good to the
is.
core.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, Maria and team.
Yeah. Mary.
Um, uh, Two people that I met this year from now what was it? The ABIAs, Australian Beauty Industry Awards, um, was Robin McAlpine and Jenny Tarrant. So Robin McAlpine, we've got a podcast episode. Go listen to that to hear Robin's story. Um, Beauty therapist, clinic owner, and charity owner. And the same with Jenny Tarrant, hairdresser, hair salon owner, and has the Tarrant Foundation. So, like to leverage your business, your finances, your platform, in terms of how many people we get to talk to and have contact with every day to make impact in a bigger way is just incredible. Like raising thousands and thousands of dollars for complete strangers, you know,
Unbelievable. Absolutely.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And both very modest, and particularly Robin, when you spotlight how incredible she is, she goes, "Oh," you know. So what? Not modest. What's the word? Grounded. I don't know. There's a word for it.
Yeah.
Um,
Calm and grounded.
yeah, yeah. So I think like the fact that Linda Woodhead from Mocha not only spotlights the good people in our industry in business and their creativity and the amazing things that are happening in the industry, but she celebrates and aligns herself for the greater good to spotlight people like Robin and Jenny. And if it wasn't for Linda and Mocha, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to be sitting there on a table at a gala crying because of how incredible these people are. That was
Yeah.
embarrassing. Whatever. Um, so just yeah, amazing people. And like I spoke to Robin about in our podcast episode, whatever episode that was, a few months back, is that we take for granted how much impact we already make in the industry to our clients, but how much impact we can make on a bigger scale, um, and easier than what you think. And they're showing us the path for that. It's amazing. Um,
I think one thing's happened though from having deeper conversations, being on the podcast, something amazing has happened with you, Jay, and I think you need to share that around your ambassadorship.
yeah, so I did forget about that. Um, I hassled Robin and Jenny so much with fangirl voice messages and phone calls. Had some beautiful conversations, and we're collaborating with both of them in different ways currently and in 2026, like uh, amazing initiatives with our clients to help our clients to, put a team challenge together where a certain amount of money from a certain service gets donated to these charities, and we have trackers and like so it's them being flexible to allow us to do this and help our clients make impact, but also becoming the first ambassador of the Tarrant Foundation, which I'll be able to talk more about in 2026 and what that actually means. But I knew I always wanted to make impact. I'm not in a position yet where um, I wanted my own charity, but I definitely wanted to piggyback off someone else's. But to be uh, referenced as a partner
It's
or a
amazing.
supporter
Mm.
is great, but then being an official ambassador for a charity that does incredible work for children, women, teens, men, people with brain health challenges, like
Yeah.
um,
So,
it's
so
such an
good.
honor, such
It
an honor.
is. Yeah. Very proud of
Mm.
you, Jay. Well done.
Thank you, thank you,
Well
thank
done.
you.
I think
Yeah.
there's some other people in the industry and we need to shine a light on because I don't think we need to forget the people that do what we do.
Yeah. So I think there's lots of coaches and mentors in the industry that do amazing things on a big scale, on a small scale. And, I think it's always one of those things that if you do a speech or you say, I just want to thank these people, and you're always worried that you're not going to mention someone. Um, but so I'm sorry if I forgot about you. But the people that came to our mind that have particularly done incredible things and for our industry, not just in 2025, but just fiercely passionate about our industry. One who we don't have a lot of contact with at all is Kim Cray, but
Yeah.
you will never ever hear a negative thing said about Kim unless they're lying, or they're making shit up. And that hasn't even happened.
No.
Um, she's just level-headed, grounded, smart. Um, and it's not just one day she woke up and thought, oh, I'll be a coach because I'll make good money off that, because that ain't the truth a lot of the time. Uh, she's just a brilliant coach. And of course she won Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Well done, Kim.
Yeah, Caitlin from Iconic, like she's smashing goals. She did a recap on her year and what she achieved in 2025 in her coaching business. She's really authentic. So, she swears and carries on like I do. Across her branding, she's really authentic, very down to earth. Um, uh,
Think even with Caitlin, like it meant the world to me when we lost Blake this year. Like she'd reached out several times, and I just thought, I don't really know you that well, but wow, like how nice is that? Like I just
yeah,
think people just reached out from everywhere. But yeah, thanks, Caitlin. That was
yeah.
lovely. It meant a lot.
So, yeah, two people that did that, Maria and Caitlin, both messaged me
Yeah.
out of the blue. How's Marie?
Let me just say, Maria Coccioloni, I think, might have had, if she's not very good at remembering things, that's okay because I'm not either. But whether she had it in a diary or not, I think it was pretty much bang on nearly every month she's messaged me, and I thank her so much. So,
Yeah,
yeah. To think that
unbelievable.
you're the founder of a large company and you've got so many things happening to be able to remember me, I thought, wow, that's so
Mm,
nice. Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Of course, it goes without saying, Chrissy Alger.
Yeah. And
Like, and again,
Rebecca Miller.
I think like we don't like of course we were coaches alongside them, colleagues, I say. Just
Mm,
I think it's the easiest way. We were colleagues for many years, so we were in each other's world every single week a
mm,
few years back. And as much as we don't have like even weekly contact, um, when we do have contact, when we do catch up, we always have a great time. But again, um, uh, authentic, impactful. Um, and it's funny, like you think about Kim, Caitlin, Chrissy, Rebecca, polar opposites, completely different, different branding.
yeah.
Um, the only overarching thing that they have in common is their fierce commitment and passion for the industry and supporting and coaching people. How they do it is all very different. And for a certain, to a certain degree, it makes it easier to choose who you're going to do work with to support you in your business when there's very different flavors that have different, areas of expertise or way that they support people. But um, there's coaches that come and go. There's coaches that do it for the wrong reasons or whatever. Like that old saying, kick a bush and a coach jumps out. Like that's gone. I think
Mm.
2025 sorted that out. But yeah, incredible people. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to all of you, each and every one of you.
Mm.
Um, let's talk about things that we've seen that are maybe a common theme and maybe the things that have happened this year, Jay. Um,
The
maybe we'll,
good and the bad.
yeah, the good, bad, and the ugly, but let's talk about the things that went a bit skew whiff this year.
Bit skew whiff. That's a bit 1992.
It is skew whiff
I
and bad, all
I
in
haven't
one.
I haven't I haven't said skew whiff in a while.
Haven't you? Well, someone listening will know what skew whiff means.
I know what it, yeah. I know what it means.
Yeah,
Anyway, um, yeah, the shit stuff, the themes. I think there's lots, but I think to
very.
to be really specific, and the things that popped into my mind first was the sole operator thing. Like like the sole operator part of our industry is growing and it's
Massively.
it's evolving. Like
Mm,
there's spaces now that have specifically opened up from scratch purely to be a co-working collaborative space, and they offer more than just the space, like support to, sole operators.
mm,
I think that the theme that we've seen is that sole operators are starving. They are hungry for support for their specific business model because there's so many struggling, so many. And even in our marketing, like when we launch a campaign or an offer, a course, a freebie, whatever, we always sweep up everyone that sign up for that. People with teams, people without teams, the odd person that is not even in our industry signs up for our things, and we tell them to go away politely. Um, but the surge this year of sole operators reaching out for help, signing up for things, even though the thing that they're signing up for doesn't specifically solve their challenges. They're just hungry, they're scrambling, they're looking for support and help.
They
And
really want the help, don't they?
yeah, and
Mm.
look, I'm recording an episode in 2026 with Linda, one of our coaches, that works at YGC, because we have been working for the last 6 months on developing a program for sole operators, which was the hardest program I've ever developed. You know how quick and easy I find it to create content and
Yes.
just, this was hard. This was
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
But operators are struggling. They wear all the hats. They're
Mhm.
fighting against people with big brands, big budgets, people that they can delegate to. Um, I think the reputation in the community as
Mhm.
well, consumers, people are more hesitant to want to go to someone's house to have a treatment. And I think that's why there's been a lot of noise around, working in a professional collaborative space or renting a room rather than going to Nancy's spare bedroom
Mhm.
in the court, you know, stepping over the dirty knickers in the hallway that the daughter left there that morning. So it's growing, but it's a mess at the moment. So
Yeah.
I think that's not the bad, it's a challenge. And
Yeah, and
it's
I think that, sorry, Joe, I think the one area around that has been okay, there is lots of challenges. The ones that are aware of it, they're all thinking, well, where can I find a space? So we've got one particular one I remember that did a course with us, the financial glow up course that we have running 4 times a year. And she actually has now moved, and there was a goal around it prior to, but has moved into a space and started employing 2 or 3 people. But she knew she needed to change.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah, she knew
100%.
she had to change. So, yeah,
Yeah.
massive, massive area that needs support.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people get into it for the wrong reason. Anyway, I've got to move on from that because it's so big and I can talk about it. And I think because the our sole operator program's about to launch next year, that it's fresh in my mind and I just want to talk about it and I want to rant about it. Um, but yeah, I think with that as well, one of the things that I've seen this year, and it kind of feeds into the sole operator contractor type thing, is businesses that are too small. You can go too small. And I think that there's sometimes a narrative in our industry that, oh, I had bigger team and it was
Yes.
hard and I earned less money, so I went back down small because it's easier. But there's a limit of how small you can go before there's zero profit. Because the thing is, when you're sharing your $1,000 a week rent across 10 team members, it's $100 each. Just a very vague way of looking at it. Whereas when you got one team member and it's 500 for you and 500 for them,
Yeah.
it's a lot of pressure on generating consistent revenue every week of the year to cover your overhead expenses. But also, that team member leaves, you're a sole operator and you're taking on all the clients and all the responsibility, you're screwed.
Yeah, and taking time off and having boundaries and being able to do anything around running a solid structural business, it's more difficult.
And even with our salon, we can profit just with a full-time qualified senior on annual leave and a full-time qualified senior on sick leave.
Mhm.
We can still break even and turn a profit and everything's paid, but the profit's this much. Whereas if you've got four on team and one goes on holidays, one goes sick, one has a quiet week, and that puts you below break even, you're too small.
Mm.
And
Yep.
too small isn't just client numbers and team member numbers. It's like your average client spend charging correctly. But you can go too small. And because cost of living, everything's gone up personally, professionally, all of that stuff. Uh, Even if you've maintained your business plus 10% in 2025, you can be in a worse position because everything has inflated.
Yes.
So, it's just risk. It's assessing risk of being too small. It's assessing risk of being too big. Look, you know what? You need a coach. That's what it comes down to. But that's
It
one
does.
theme that I've seen.
There's some themes of debt as well. I think we've seen lots of businesses insolvencies and even getting in contact with past clients. There's so many businesses shutting down, and there's I don't even want to say it's a theme. I just think it needs to be sorted out. So if these are common bad themes that you think I'm in a bad position or I need help, I need to change this once and for all, reach out. That's what we're here for.
Mm. And look, I won't name and shame personally, but I will name and shame certain offerings. Um, if you are making decisions about debt and you are relying on bank managers, finance people, brokers to give you advice, they all make commission off you. You know, one guy that I use, he makes commission off our mortgages and our loans, but he has our best interest in mind.
Mm,
Whereas a previous bank manager, a previous bank who, I'll name and shame them, Bendigo Bank, that was an absolute nightmare, personally and professionally. Some of the dealings with our specific circumstances with them, um, I didn't trust the person that was, giving me advice because they just wanted commission.
mm,
So I think there's even with debts, you rely on the ATO to say, yeah, pay that 120,000 back this year. Oh, okay. Your
mm.
business
Yeah.
can't afford to pay 2.5 grand a week. They don't give a shit about you. They just want their money back,
Yeah.
you
You got
know?
to have better strategy, isn't it, rather than panic. So,
Absolutely. And look,
yeah.
I think part of it's your fault, part of it's their fault, but we just need to we need to be aware that any decision that you make where you are leasing, loaning, overdrafting, whatever, that the people that are attached to those products earn commission and don't have your best interest in mind sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think the debt, apart from those stupid loans that you can get that advertise on TikTok or at 3 in the morning when you're watching TV and they're dressed up as cartoon characters saying instant money, $20,000 and all that shit.
Mm.
It's
Really high interest as well, like extremely high interest.
yet like next level high interest.
Hmm.
But I think the debt that gets a lot of people in trouble is that they buy a piece of equipment, machinery, 100,000, 200,000, 400,000 from a company that doesn't educate them and provide support before, during, after,
Hmm.
because there's a lot of beauty and skin clinic owners that have invested in these modalities, and the support's non-existent from the company that they bought
Yeah.
from.
Like there's some amazing companies like Tadley and like thinking of places that really support you. Like there's some great places, but there's also another side of it, isn't it, Jay, where you see three or four and they often throw their jumper over it as such. It's almost like something that you had in your home, isn't it, like a treadmill and you think, oh, I threw the clothes on top of that. If it's not getting used and there's not a strategy around it, those people can help you that you buy it from. You just didn't think about it. It's just, I think I might buy that today. And there's not enough thought go into why they're buying it and the results that they want. So really need
Mm,
to think a lot deeper, not around just the purchase, but why are you doing it and what's the end result that you want to
yeah,
get from
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Mm.
I watched on TikTok last night,
That's
as I do.
unusual. Yeah.
Yeah, it is unusual. I love TikTok. Um, I should be a TikTok ambassador. Anyway, this guy broke down a purchase of a coffee machine for a cafe. The coffee machine was 18,000,
Wow.
and then how much the coffee machine costs to produce a coffee with the cup and the milk and the shots and the consumables and all of that stuff. And then how long it would take to cover the 18,000 plus all the consumables to pay off the machine to just get to break even before they start to profit. I can't remember the result, but I will tell you, it was a bloody long time
Yeah.
before they started to actually make money off that $18,000 machine and
He, he,
$5.40 coffees.
he sounds like someone I'd like to have a conversation with. I like people that break it down like that. It's good.
Yeah, he was good actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, um,
Now, let's stop talking about the bad. Let's talk
yes,
about the good because there's some bloody good things been happening.
absolutely. Good themes. And again, it's that fly on the wall. opportunity that we get having our noses in lots of people's businesses. I think the thing that, and look, this isn't a theme of just this year. It's always been a theme, but it's more so important this year. Is when clients, salon owners, clinic owners really focus on the client journey, which I think we all do, whether we label it that or, it's just unconscious of talking to your team about making sure that you go above and beyond for your clients. But the ones that really do go above and beyond with a detailed map client journey, and they base a lot of their focus and education with their team around those touch points that are just delivered beautifully, completely elevated, and that they're detailed. It's unique, and you're taking into consideration the client's experience
Mm.
of their service that they're receiving from you, rather than just saying, we use great products, we have great results, and we're really lovely to our clients. So's every bastard. But that's not
Yeah.
good enough. We need to
It's
really lean into that.
No, and I think there's been a big theme of people having conversation about like the Mecca experience. And you know what? It's the water with the cucumber or the lemon. It's the touch. Like it's not just about popping a device on someone. It's not about leaving the client while their hair's processing. Like there needs to be other things that you add in from before the client walks into the clinic or salon right through to when they leave. Like
Mm,
that is where the energy needs to be spent in 2026.
mm.
People are looking for experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it
I
does.
went to Mecca on the weekend, Marie, just a smaller one in High Street, Armadale. I think it's pronounced High Street, Armadale.
Right.
Um, so nice. And there was a few people in Mecca that had fantastic customer service. One girl that checked on me twice. But then there's that I work at Mecca, I'm too cool for school type attitude of some of them. But then there's a place down the road. Can't remember its name, but the majority of the brand in the front of the store, it must be a new store, is Emco Beauty, cheap as chips. But
Mm.
like the fit out was amazing, and the service was unbelievably next level.
Wow.
So, like, you could get a body spray perfume for $20, a lip liner for $14, a mascara for 12. Like it's
Yeah.
cheap stuff.
Mm.
But down the road where there's $500 items, the service wasn't as good as the cheap items.
Interesting.
So that has to be elevated. And the fact that at that MCO beauty store, they didn't just have little baskets there. They said, here's a basket for your shopping.
Yeah, it is.
Or I was putting things on the back of my hands and a guy handed me like a makeup remover wipe and said, here you go. I said, oh, thank you.
Yeah. And it's not even just our industry, it's everything. Like when you go for dinner, like that next level, people say it all the time. It's expensive at that restaurant. Oh, but gee, the service is good and the food's amazing. And I think they always say the service was so good. That's why they can, I suppose, say, oh, it's okay that I paid that amount of money. So I think it's wherever you go, your clients, your guests, your new potential clients and guests, they are looking for an experience.
They're looking for an experience. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how long we've been talking, but we always promise that our episodes are short, sharp, and sweet. So let's power it up. Let's get through some of the things that we still really want to mention because I could talk all
Definitely.
day. And I think each of these things that we're talking about is an episode within itself, which makes it hard to not want to go down a rabbit hole.
All right. Power through, Jay.
Power
Power.
through, Marie Drever. So I think the client journey and really focusing on the touch points more so and deeper than you think you should or
Yeah.
have to. But I think pretty much everything else around the good that happens in business is less about strategy. Oh, there's your phone call. Who's ringing, Marie?
It's okay.
No, who is it? I want
It
to
was,
know.
I think I had two. That was Dad, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
far out.
I,
Bloody hell. What's Bob doing?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, he'll be wanting to know whether to bring the carton of custard tomorrow, I reckon.
Probably something like that with the brandy in it, or well, who knows?
Jesus Christ. Anyway, um, it's less about strategy and it's more about the human that's running the business, personal development. I
Yeah.
think the theme that I see of people that are, and personal development, like it's linked to having good boundaries and taking time off and switching off,
Yeah.
making sure that your team switch off and they respect your right to switch off as well. Uh, Weekends, holidays, annual leave, like doing things for you. But then on the next level is going to retreats, educating yourself, leaning into things that help you with your emotional regulation, learning about your brain and why you make the decisions that you do. Those people that invest in that and have those good boundaries, they're growing for a reason,
Yeah,
you
it
know.
might even be just spending time over the Christmas break or the time that you're having off and really thinking about mapping out, what you're going to do for you, educational wise, or, your business and putting some plans together if you don't currently have one.
Mm.
There's a theme that I'm seeing, Jay. I know you've seen it, our whole team's seen it. And I think it's a really aha moment. And when you're listening to this, it could be in the new
Oh,
year.
now someone's trying to ring me. We've
Oh,
got to turn our notifications off on our devices, don't we?
something like that, yes. But there is a big theme that I'm seeing salons were closing. So early. And I'll give you one as an example. It was almost a week before Christmas, a salon was closing. So I'm talking Friday the week before Christmas. So why would you be closing and leaving the door open for sales to go somewhere else? That salon owner, it would have been about 2.5 weeks before we made the decision. I'm like, why are you closed? And she said, I don't know. And she stayed open. And those 4 days that she was going to close and then were booked out. Now, revenue wise, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, but it was into the thousands it was booked in, plus retail, plus gift vouchers. More and more people, we're seeing the theme, they are not closing. If you have a team, there's no reason you need to close. So it doesn't mean that you have time off, or if you can have time off, they work. There needs to be a combination, but we need to really dig deep and look at 12 months' time and make a decision whether you're closing or not. Because my good old saying is, Coles doesn't close the doors. Why do you?
And they have record profits. I know it's different, but
It is
I
different.
think it was easier 4 or 5 years ago to make that decision. There was enough money in the bank at the end of January, mid-January to warrant closing and give everyone a break.
Yeah.
But things have changed. And I think the other thing is when a team member has that conversation, the good news is that we've been able to close and, switch off. The bad news is we can't keep doing it. Does everyone want to pitch in and do a day? And who wants to work? That the team are like, oh, yeah, like most 60, 70% are not resistant to that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're not in a financial position to make that decision, then you have to change it. And it's a shit decision to have to make. But if it's the difference between getting into debt at the end of January or not, then that's what you need to do. But then you
Yeah.
also need to address why you can't afford to close the salon for a week in the first place. Work that out. So then you can say, no, Marie, I'm closing for 2 weeks. I've got $1 million in the bank. Address that problem.
If you got 3 months worth of trade in your bank account, I think you can afford to maybe do it. But if you don't and you don't have a really good buffer in your bank account, then you need to consider it. But think about it now so you're prepared 12 months ahead.
100%.
Mm,
Absolutely.
mm.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. I don't know if that was a good or a bad trend, but that's okay. But
Yeah,
I think the people that have the boundaries, they are committed to making sure that they have a life and a purpose outside the four walls of their clinics or salons. They're leaning into personal development. They come to coaching meetings on Monday and Tuesday,
mm,
ready, calm, and not wishing they were still on their weekend and rattled because their business sucks the life out of them. So you can't grow a business from a place where you're stressed, you're exhausted, you're anxious, you're tired, your mental health shot. Like yeah, it's compromised. So it's like we're hosting the Mindset Shift, which is on the 15th of January. It's a
Yep.
masterclass. We've got some guest speakers on different topics. But one of the guest speakers, who's also a dear friend of ours, Ash, she burnt out. She hit rock bottom. And then she completely redesigned her week and her year to put all of her personal stuff in first, all of her leave, all of her holidays, all of her weekends away, more so than she ever has before. All of her hours were locked in, who's going to be doing what. And then the business stuff had to fit around that. And if it didn't fit, someone else had to do it, or she was going to burn that joint down. Okay. So I think that's the energy and the approach that you can come into 2026 with. What stays in 2025? What's my week going to look like, and what am I going to commit to? But if you don't have that level of commitment and motivation yet, where you are at rock bottom, or that you are so hungry, you're just going to make it work, you've got high levels of motivation or really high levels of pain, you need to find something that's going to help you access that level of motivation because no one's going to go, what can I do in January to make myself so uncomfortable that I'll make change? It's not what we do. But you need to find something or help yourself make a decision to make next year different or better because
Mm.
no one is going to do that for you and no one's coming to save you.
Yeah, it's identifying those shifts that you've had, um, and you've gone, oh, that was an aha moment in 2025, and really level up and step into your true leadership, in 2026.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's enough from us. This is the last episode of season 2 of the Your Growth Coaches podcast. Thank you for listening. We are going to be launching back in the first couple of weeks of January, so you'll get a notification. Give us a review, give us a podcast review. We love that. You can do that on Apple Store and Spotify. And check out the show notes as well, because we have a link to our Mindset Shift Masterclass on the 19th of January. If you're listening to this episode past that date, slide into our DMs. I'm sure we'll be able to work out how to send the recording to you. But thank you, Marie. It's been a hoot.
Thanks, Jay. It certainly has.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all the rest.
You too.